Think you're crushing your calisthenics goals just because you're sweating, shaking, and sore the next day? What if I told you that right now, the harder you're training, the further you might actually be drifting from real progress? Yeah, sounds uncomfortable, but stay with me, because this might be the difference between finally leveling up your body or staying stuck for another year. Most people don't fail at calisthenics because they're weak. They fail because they're rushing reps, rushing progressions, rushing the basics they think they've already mastered. And here's the scary part. Everything can look right on the outside while your body is compensating like crazy on the inside. Let me ask you something real quick. When you train, are you actually controlling the movement, or are you just surviving it? See, one of the biggest mistakes people make is treating calisthenics like a numbers game. More reps, more sets, harder variations, without realizing their body position is leaking power everywhere. Shoulders creeping up, lower back sagging, core completely checked out, and you might still hit the rep, but your joints are paying the price. Here's a little hint, and I won't give the full answer yet. Real calisthenics strength doesn't start in your arms or legs. It starts in how well you can organize your body as one unit. Miss that, and no exercise will ever feel truly strong. I see this all the time. Someone says, I can do pull-ups, but their shoulders are doing all the work while their core swings like a loose door hinge. Or, I've got push-ups down, but their ribs flare, their elbows scream, and their lower back folds under pressure. The rep counts, but the body doesn't adapt the way it should. Think of your body like a skyscraper. If the foundation is cracked, you can keep adding floors, but eventually something's going to give. In calisthenics, that foundation is alignment, tension, and control. Ignore it, and progress becomes fragile. Now here's the part most people miss. Your body is always choosing the easiest way to move. Not the safest, not the strongest, the easiest. And unless you consciously override that, you're just reinforcing bad habits. Rep after rep, quick light bulb moment for you. If an exercise feels wildly different when you slow it down, you weren't owning it before. Let that sink in. In this series, especially in this part, we're not chasing flashy skills. We're rebuilding how you use your body so every movement actually transfers to strength, control, and longevity. Today is about setting the standard. So when we layer harder progressions later, your body is ready to absorb them instead of breaking under them. So before we fix anything, I want you to mentally rewind your last workout. Where did you rush? Where did you lose tension? Where did you tell yourself good enough? Because in the next part, we're going to start correcting those leaks, slowly, deliberately. And once you feel it, you'll never train the same way again. Stay locked in. This is where real calisthenics begins. Think you're crushing your calisthenics goals just because you're exhausted, dripping in sweat, and sore the next day? Here's a hard truth most people don't want to hear. You can work insanely hard and still move backward. And if you've been training consistently but your strength, control, or physique hasn't really changed, this is probably why. Let me ask you something straight up. When you train, are you actually in control of your body? Or are you just muscling your way through reps and hoping it counts? Most people believe calisthenics is simple. It's just body weight. But that mindset is exactly what holds them back. Because calisthenics isn't about lifting your body from point A to point B. It's about how well your body works as a single connected system. Miss that, and every rep becomes a negotiation instead of a statement. One of the biggest mistakes I see is rushing the basics. Push-ups, pull-ups, squats, people treat them like warm-ups they've outgrown. They bounce through reps, chase numbers, and post clips thinking progress is inevitable. But here's the catch, your body adapts to how you move, not what you move. If your form is sloppy, you're getting really good at moving sloppy. Another common mistake is letting momentum do the work. Swinging into pull-ups, dropping into push-ups, collapsing at the bottom of squats. It feels powerful, but it's borrowed power. And borrowed power always comes with interest, usually paid by your shoulders, elbows, knees, or lower back. Now, I'm not going to reveal everything just yet, but here's a clue most people never consider. Real strength starts before the movement even begins. Before the first rep, before you bend an elbow or knee. It starts with how you set your body. Think about this. Have you ever done an exercise where everything clicked? It felt smooth, controlled, almost lighter, even though it was harder? That's not magic. That's alignment and tension working together. Your body is incredibly smart, but it's also incredibly lazy. It will always choose the path of least resistance. If your core is asleep, your lower back will step in. If your shoulders aren't stable, your elbows will take over. The rep still happens, but the load shifts somewhere it shouldn't. Here's a quick light bulb moment. If an exercise only feels hard at the top or bottom, but not throughout the entire movement, something isn't engaged. Real control feels demanding from start to finish, most people think. Calisthenics progress means harder variations, but in reality, progress often means doing the same movement with more intention, slower, cleaner, more connected. That's where the strength you can't fake lives. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine trying to fire a cannon from a canoe. That's what most people's training looks like. Tons of force, zero stability. Now imagine firing that same cannon from solid ground. Same effort, completely different result. Your body works the same way. Another huge mistake is ignoring what your joints are telling you. Pain isn't always bad, but discomfort in the wrong places is a red flag. Wrists screaming during push-ups, shoulders pinching during pull-ups, lower back tightening during leg work. That's your body saying, I'm compensating. And here's the dangerous part. You can train like that for months before something finally breaks. Progress stalls, motivation dips, injuries show up out of nowhere. But they weren't random, they were rehearsed. Now, I want you to think about your last workout. Honestly, where did you rush the rep? Where did you lose tension? Where did you tell yourself that's close enough? Those are the exact moments stealing your results. I'm not saying you need perfect form all the time. Perfection isn't the goal, awareness is. The difference between people who plateau forever and people who keep leveling up is simple. One group listens to their body, the other bullies it. Here's another hint before we go deeper in the next part. The strongest calisthenics athletes aren't the ones who move the fastest. They're the ones who can pause, hold, and control every inch of the movement. Speed is earned. Control is built. If you slow a rep down and suddenly feel muscles you've never felt before, that's not weakness. That's discovery. That's you finally accessing the strength you've been skipping. So here's your challenge before the next section. Pick one basic movement today, just one. Push-up, pull-up, squat, plank. Do fewer reps than usual. Slow them down. Stay tight, stay aware. And notice how different it feels when you are in charge of the movement instead of momentum. This series isn't about doing more, it's about doing better. Because once your foundation is solid, everything else, strength, skills, aesthetics, starts stacking up naturally. In the next part, we're going to start breaking down exactly how to build that foundation, step by step, so every rep you do actually counts. Stay focused. This is where things change. Think you're crushing your calisthenics goals just because you're tired, sweating, and sore the next day? Here's a truth most people never realize. You can train hard every single day and still be training wrong. And if your progress feels slow, painful, or inconsistent, this might be exactly why. Let me ask you something honestly. When you do a rep, are you controlling it, or are you just trying to survive it? Most people mess up calisthenics before the movement even starts. They rush into reps with zero setup, zero tension, and zero awareness. Push-ups turn into elbow strain. Pull-ups become shoulder swings. Squats collapse into the lower back. The rep counts, sure, but the body isn't getting stronger where it should. Here's the dangerous part. Bad reps don't look bad. They just feel off later. Tight shoulders, achy wrists, lower back fatigue that shouldn't be there. That's your body compensating instead of working together. Quick hint, I won't give everything away yet, but real calisthenics strength doesn't start in your arms or legs. It starts with how well you can keep your body connected as one piece. Lose that, and power leaks everywhere. Think of your body like a chain. One weak link doesn't stop the chain from moving, but it limits how much force it can handle. That's why people plateau even though they train hard. Here's a light bulb moment. If slowing down a rep suddenly makes it feel 10 times harder, you weren't in control before. And that's not a failure. That's awareness kicking in. Most athletes chase harder variations when what they really need is better tension, better alignment, and better control. Momentum feels strong, but control builds strength. So before we fix anything, I want you to reflect. Where do you rush? Where do you lose tightness? Where do you tell yourself that's good enough? Because in the next part, we're going to start fixing those leaks, step by step, so every rep finally works for you instead of against you. Stay focused. This is where real calisthenics begins.